Hello, good afternoon. This is Diecast Lou, and I hope you're all doing well. And today we're going to take a look at a 1 in 43rd scale model of a Ford Model T by a company called White Box. So I don't know anything about White Box models. This is my first White Box, but a friend of mine just got an influx of White Box models in, and him being in the know said, if you like the Oxford models, you'll like the White Box. He said because they're is easily well made as the Oxford, and they're about the same price. They're about sort of £20 a pop, so they're not massively expensive. But anyway, we'll pan the camera down. We'll take a closer look at the model. Let's just move back it. So there is the model in its box, and as you can see, it says White Box, and you get a half white and a half black box. There's nothing really else to say about it. It's not a lot of card art or any sort of artwork, but still nonetheless plain is good sometimes. But the one thing I have noticed, and I noticed this yesterday, is that every model White Box makes, at least in 1 in 43rd scale, they're always 1 of 1,000 or 1 of 1,008. So some are 1 of 1,000 and some are 1 of 1,008. So they're all very limited, really. It's not a lot of models. But as you can see, this is the Ford T Runabout, 1925. But anyway, we'll take it out the outer wrapping and have a closer look. And the reason I picked this model car is because he had a lot of nice models there. I think there was a Chevy 3100 tow truck that I'm going to be getting next. But I just thought this was so well made for what it is. But anyway, so there's the model. And we'll just remove the outer part of the acrylic case. So the first initial impressions is very well made. Very cool. So before I unscrew it off the plinth, we'll just say a little bit of information on the Model Ts for those that don't know a great deal about them. Most Ford Model Ts, or all Model Ts as far as I'm aware of, had a 2.9 litre or 177 cubic inch engine. I think the top speed was about between 40 and 45 miles an hour, but from what I've researched, to be honest, I think 35 was about the end of the world on these cars anyway. So they weren't a particularly quick car, but nonetheless, and I do believe that they were built between 1908 to 1927. So from 1908 to 1927, Ford would build some 15 million Ford Model Ts, and it would be the longest production run of any automobile in history until the Volkswagen Beetle surpassed it in 1972. So that's quite a lot of cars. And another little fact I know about these cars as well. I think they're made from a steel. I'm sure it was called vanadium steel, which was a very good quality steel. I've seen other YouTube videos of people pulling these things out of hedges after being in hedges for years, with a little bit of surface rust, but the cars clean up very well and just fire up after very little work, because they're just so well and so simply made. You know, these things in the early days never had starting motors, had a cranking handle. You know, they had magnetos. You know, it's just so easy to get them to run. They didn't have water pumps. They were I think they were called thermo-siphoned, the way the water worked. I think they had a thing called a motor meter, which was on the front there. If I can get to, would have been there somewhere on the front, right about there. If I can get, that's how you told your temperature. But anyway, enough of the gibber, and I'll take it off its plinth. We'll have a closer look. There goes the screw. Okay, well, I'll find that later. Well, anyway, straight away I noticed as soon as I take it off the plinth, for a little car, it's it's quite weighty and very well done. We'll just angle the camera down a bit more. But as you can see, so it's in this dark blue. The window on the front looks really cool. Straight away you can see that you've got gauges there, which is pretty cool. And you can see the pedals. I do believe That was the reversing lever, I think, and I think it also acted as a brake. These didn't drive like normal cars. I can't remember the way round that the pedals worked now, but I know that they had a hand throttle. I do believe the middle one. I think the middle one was the clutch. I can't remember now. Oh, I know you had to hold it down to go forwards and let it up to go in reverse. I can't remember now, but they were. If you're not used to driving, I've never driven a T, but I know somebody that has, and it's quite an experience apparently. I've yet to ever drive anything like this. But anyway, very, very well done. So as you can see, so on the back you've got spare tyre, got plate, you can see the diff there. And you can see the springs, you can see the axle. Another thing I like straight away off the bat is you can see the tyre treads are very nice, very well replicated. And the ends of the axles look metallised, which are obviously not, it will be plastic, but again, it's all accurate. These are very well made models. Very well made models. And then you've got the radiator there. You can see again, you can see the axle, you can see the top of the suspension spring, which is like a upside down leaf spring. And you can see the lens lights. The wheel spin quite nice. You've got the old carriage lamps there. I know the older T's, these used to be, well, it wouldn't have been electric, or wouldn't have been, they would have been like a gas powered lamp. That moves, not that it doesn't in it, but it does move, which is a pretty cool touch. And then we'll take a look underneath. And again, done very, very nicely. So you've got all the little, you've got the exhaust going right through, got that sort of like a banjo type diff. And you've got all these supporting brackets. But very, very nicely done. You've got the cranking handle. But yeah, very, very cool. And like I said, so this is why I bought it. I mean, I quite like Model Ts, I must admit. They are a very cool car, and it's very unusual. You see a very nice made Model T. I mean, that's the reason I bought this, is because it was in my opinion, very well made. And like I said, for a little car, it's very weighty. I mean, the gauges are that good. You can even see what looks like the actual little needle on the clock. But very, very cool. And I should imagine that switch there, you can see the big switch, that'll be for either to run it off the battery or run it off the magneto when you start it. Because like I said, being this is a later Model T, I would have thought this one would have come with a starting motor, which would have ran straight off the gearbox. But you could have still cranked it anyway. But anyway, so that's the 1925 T Runabout. By a company called White Box, which, like I said, are very, very well built models. So if you haven't got a White Box and you collect one in 43rd scale, it's definitely something to look into. They make a right big array of models. Excuse me. But every one you buy, they're quite limited. Like I said, one of 1,000 pieces is not a lot. But anyway, so that's that for today. So please like and subscribe. And tomorrow, I'm just going to move this to one side a second. I will give you a quick glimpse. I've had one of my cars turn up in the post. Tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at another one from Auto World. I should say one from Auto World. So a quick glimpse. We are going to be taking a look at this dirty version of the Ford 65 Ford GT. So that'd be very, very cool. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.